This two-tower chimps combination is quite special. It was the first ever chimps run done with just 2 towers back in version 2.1. Primordial times of these times really when it comes to the game. The game has advanced so much, but yet let us revisit this old tale. The only difference being is that we're forced to go with heat-tip darts rather than airburst darts because plutonium reactor has lost its normal damage type. So first things first, we have our submarine down because, well, we can't even afford the Super Monkey at this given point in time, but we're going to go with 110 for the time being. Mainly barbed darts because of the additional pierce, and we're going to go up to heat tip darts anyways, but we need that longer range in order to hit down here just in case any balloons escape towards this point over here. As of the time of this recording, there are nearly 1,600 different combinations of 2TCs that have been done over the years, but the Energizer and the Anti-Bloon, that crept it from 0 combinations done to 1 combination done. And that is truly special. Whenever you think of all of the different combinations out there, you always got to go back to the first ever one, because I think without the particular run in which CryosOF have done, perhaps the achievement was never to be put in the game. Perhaps people would not have pursued other combinations throughout the game if it wasn't for that first ever run. Or perhaps it would, but it would take significantly longer for the idea of completing an entire game with just 2 towers put on the field was something that would be stupidly laughable to contemplate, especially like on the more difficult maps like Dark Castle, Quad, and, you know, Ravine. Everybody loves Ravine, don't they? I especially do not. Okay, this round is a little bit annoying because it takes a little bit of handiwork here to do, but we managed to get through it. I don't think you could do that by just having it on first, otherwise there are going to be some balloons which will escape, because some balloons will not be hit and slowed down. Okay, we're at that point we're going to be able to put down a Super Monkey on round 19. We're going to have you here. I think these 2 spots were the OG spots. Okay, round 24. We are just able to afford the submersion support for this point. Otherwise, this combination would nowadays be impossible because you really need the submarine down in order to, sorry, the Super Monkey down in order to hold off some of these other rounds in which this single submarine most likely would fall off at this point. So heat tip darts because Ninja Kiwi decided that plutonium reactor radiation has now become not weak from radiation but resists radiation. So therefore heat tip darts is required for that radiation to not only have a presence about it which melts everything in its path, but now is able to transmit heat as well as radiation by having heat-tip darts. But again, adding logic to an illogical scenario like this doesn't really make any sense, but apparently if you're frozen and you're within the radiation of this, you are perfectly fine. If you're encased with radiation, sorry, encased in ice, are you immune to radiation in real life? I would not like trying and test to see if that's actually real, if it is real. Or maybe the default damage type of plutonium reactor is shatter, but I definitely think it is sharp. One thing I find really odd about this game is that we have fortified lead balloons, and lead balloons are isolated, which you can't whittle down from a higher tier tower. It's like it's its standalone balloon. Whereas purple balloons, the same. You know, they're isolating counters of which you can't get from a balloon which is otherwise a higher rank, like a male class balloon. But leads have the fortified feature sometimes, but purple balloons do not. Now, why is that the case? I imagine that would make, honestly, that would make wizard-only runs a bloody nightmare unless you can get the Necromancer at that point. Okay, here we go. The first ever Moab. Perhaps I should have done this with no skins or anything. Actually, let me do that. The only thing I can't do is edit the Moab class skin to their original art style. We do get extra damage if we proceed with Plasma Blast with Tech Terror rather than Ultra Vision with Tech Terror, sorry. But we do lose that knockback and a tad bit more range and innate camo detection. I'm not too sure if Ultra Boost would, Ultra Vision would get us to a point where we can reach over here. I don't think it does. I think it's only a very minuscule increase in range. There's an idea for a new TTC. Ultra Vision and Ultra Boost. The Ultra Duo. Actually, there's also the Ultra Juggernaut. Actually, there is a 2TC of the Ultra Juggernaut and the Anti-Bloon, both using the bottom crossbar for camo detection. And here is the Tech Terror. Now, regardless of cross-pathing, once you go to Tech Terror, your damage type has changed from sharp to plasma, which means we can pop lead balloons, but we are now susceptible to purple balloons. But do not worry, our ye old radiation here will solve that issue for us. Now, unfortunately, because the Tech Terror upgrade itself has been increased over the updates, not too recently, but I think when Castle Revenge was introduced into the game, was the same update when Tech Terror's pricing was drastically nerfed. I think it was like 21k and then it goes up to 27k. Enough of a difference so that we can't afford the Anti-Bloon around 95 when we need it if we do get Energizer first, despite the fact that the Energizer price has been buffed, as in like it was cheaper now. We just can't get the Anti-Bloon for around 95 if we get the Energizer first, so we have to just bite the bullet and just stick with these two tier 4 towers, and hopefully we'll be able to wing the 80s, which is kind of like the next set of rounds in which will be challenging for us. Like this round, 76, 78, no issues whatsoever. Yeah, the art style is definitely a lot different than what it was when the game initially released, so you look a bit more 2D rather than having some form of shape to them. Yeah, the Tech Terror at the moment is doing 95% of the work here, whereas any decamification and anything that escapes the Tech Terror's grasp is partially dealt with by the plutonium reactor here. Again, we're forced with heat-tip darts because of the fact that plutonium reactor now no longer is able to pop lead balloons or frozen balloons. Mainly lead balloons, which is more of our concern. Because where is the ice making machine here? Actually, I could do with a bit of frost. It's really hot in the UK at the moment. If you think high 20s is not that hot, just consider that we're not used to the high 20s in the UK. We're more used to like low teens or below double figures when it comes to centigrade. We're just not used to this hot stuff. Then again, we complain about anything that is not an absolute perfect metric of weather. The correct kind of weather, the correct kind of clouds, the correct kind of, I don't know, just waking up on the right side of the bed, honestly. Now, we have to use our Tech Terror ability quite sparingly because of the fact that there might be a round in which we are entirely reliant on using the Tech Terror ability in order to get through that round. But if we use it too late on the previous round, then we wouldn't be able to get it back in time. One cure, obviously, is to get ourselves the Energizer here and now, but we can't, because we need the Anti-Bloon first. Also, if you didn't know, every third use of the Tech Terror ability has 50% more power behind it. So it's essentially 3 for the price of 2. And here is round 79. Come on, plutonium reactor, I rely on you for balloon clear up. This needs to be our mob killer, and you need to be the balloon clearer upper. I don't think that's even a word, but we're going with it, okay? 79 is done and dusted. Now, what about round 80? 10MG. Well, so I don't think this was a feature to the Tech Terror or the Anti-Bloon originally, but nowadays, if you use the ability on it, it can layer skip. So therefore, if it has enough damage to it, it just wipes out the entirety of the rest of the balloon that's on the inside. So there's like no DDTs, no ZMGs. We'll talk about the bad, by the way. So I think back then, it just destroys the rest of the layer itself rather than layer skipping. Having this would make the ceramics significantly easier. But again, we need to do this the hard way, and the hard way is the only way, because doing it the easy way will mean there's no way around 95. Okay, can we... I think the next round is completely free anyways. We've just got most of the most prominent targets to eradicate. Sometimes these sneaky super fortified ceramics can be really annoying as well. Also, back in the day when this 2TC was originally done, there's a bug in the game where, like, super ceramics actually rewards you with more money than they should, because obviously you hit it more times. This round might be a bit ability reliant. I think we just saved ourselves there. So what about the rest of the round? Yeah, I think we definitely got this in the bag. I think 87 might be the point where we could afford this thing. But we just need to make sure that we don't just willy-nilly use this ability. Otherwise, we could be in for not a very fun time here. Okay, use it now. Okay, let's whittle that down. Let's be on close, actually, so it delays the pop of his... Let's say delay the pop of his DMG, but we just popped it outright. My bad. Right, wipe those out, which leaves just one fortified BFB left to wipe out from existence. And we have enough time throughout this round for this ability to largely recharge. One lovely little red balloon left. But let's do the ability, and it has largely damaged them. Really good. I'm going to need you to go on close, actually, rather than trying to pop these backmost DMGs, although I know you're just going to do that anyways. Maybe this was not the play, because that is a lot of ceramics to try and get through. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is too close. What about if we pop some of these, but not all of them? No! That was bad. That was not what I wanted to do. I needed the ZMGs to be a bit further north. What about an early one so we can get it again later on in the round? But perhaps that's not a great idea, because again, I would like to control both of these arms. Also, I think back in the day, you didn't have two different targeting priorities. I only had one, so therefore, if you're on first with the left arm, you're first on the right arm as well. And that is honestly a bit more controllable. I like that. Right, with the majority of the targets now away from us, we should be able to just home in first and close on the same target here. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Okay, round 88. We should be the round in which we should afford the anti-balloon on. And then we will be on our merry way. And it's high noon, people. It is definitely 47 updates before Desperado. But with this, we now just completely decimate the rest of the game here. Like, we don't even need Energizer, but in the spirit of the first ever 2TC, we are going to get the Energizer, okay? But we can't get 2 million pops with the anti-balloon. That's just not going to be a thing, okay? This thing's got too many pops, okay? I'm sure if you're looking for that as well as the 2TC, this is just not the combination to do it with. Well, apparently you can get the submersion support and the anti-balloon 2TC discovered in update 27, but that was definitely when the wonderful tech terror abilities pricing was reduced. Right, time for you all to go down. You are not going to escape our... In the spirit of things, we did that. Wipe out all of the DDTs. And here is the Energizer. Our setup is complete. But unlike the original take, this is not going to be a huge struggle because we can just layer skip. Layer skip meaning everything inside just gets obliterated because we have enough damage in order to do so. Imagine Brickle's Mega Mines being able to do the same thing as well. Like, I like that to be a thing, but I understand that it could be just stupidly OP. Just Mega Miner bad and it just instantly shatters away. That'd be awesome. Round 98. We are very there now. There's just no way in which these balloons will be able to escape my wrath. Our eradication of the balloons. That's why this thing's called the anti-balloon rather than the balloon. I mean, that's a balloon. DDTs, you are to go down. Well, that's stupid. That's real stupid. What's going on there? I'll put you on strong, actually. This will be a bit better, won't it? This will definitely be a bit better. Yeah, I don't know why I had you on last. Why did I have it on last? I do not know. Okay, time for you to die, Bad. And along with all of your children as well inside. So, sorry, buddy. You're going to have to go into the dump. Just like that. We have done, folks, the first ever 2TC ever in the history of Bloons Tower Defense 6. It took only 49 updates, but we have finally done it, ladies and gentlemen. The first ever 2TC ever recorded. Ever. Don't look at my playlist of the other 2TCs that I've recorded. I'm kidding. If you want to check out the original video of this 2TC, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you'll be able to check out the first ever 2TC completion done by Cryos OF, and enjoy for yourselves to see how much more difficult it was to do back in the day. Thank you all so much for watching, and please take care of yourselves and safe gambling.